experiences gained. However, we're not here to talk about me tonight. We're here to talk about Richard. When researching my speech today, I received some important advice, which stated that the best speech makers stand up, speak up, and then shut up. So I will try and stick to this today. Thank you. After spells at St Mary's Primary and St Anselm's Canterbury, Richard achieved a sports scholarship to St Edmunds because he could run. However, he did achieve first 11 status in football, where he showed enthusiasm and dedication to both training and matches.
Well done, Richard.
This was highlighted on a sports tour to Spain, where upon arrival and under explicit instructions to not leave the hotel, Richard headed straight for town with some of his teammates. I, on the other hand, did a mild gym session and an early night.
Yeah.
It was during this night out that Richard met his first true love, tequila. Like all relationships, this had its ups and downs. After 2 to 3 hours with tequila, Richard managed to prize himself away to head back to the hotel. Sadly, he couldn't remember where this was or what it was called. After an expensive trial and error process with a friendly taxi driver, Richard made it back at 3 a.m. Breakfast came next morning and no Richard.
Oh no.
Being the friend I am, I went to wake Richard before football practice. Here, Richard told me, in no uncertain terms, where Mr. Evans could stick his football practice. Due to Mr. Evans' recent stomach troubles, I thought this unwise, and opted for the hard-to-believe excuse that Richard wasn't feeling very well. Richard did make it down for lunch after the threat of a return flight home and played a starring role from the subs bench for the remainder of the trip. No change there then, Richard. Needless to say, Richard never met with tequila again. Or so I thought.
No.
Winchester, 2000. Richard was at a pub opening party where tequila turned up late. In Richard's defence, he did say that this time he took tequila with a pinch of salt. Come on. However, the effects again were regretful. Again, Richard struggled to make it home. After waking at the end of the train line in Southampton, Richard had forgotten who he was or where he lived. The police kindly found a spare room for the night and confiscated his mobile phone, where instead of ringing home, they called a school friend's mum to pass on the good news to Richard's family. Richard's memory did come back, and he got his bearings the next day, after a strange look from the ticket office when he requested a ticket from Cardiff to Winchester. Anyways, enough scathing, to more formal matters. Some telegrams. One here from Philip Green, Richard. Sorry I couldn't be there tonight. Please don't be late tomorrow. One here from my father and Chris Garland, who I think a lot of you will probably know. First rule of marriage. Golf is a priority that takes precedent over everything. Hence they're not here tonight. And the last one, I'll be waiting for you at the bar from your good friend Tequila. Before I finish, and for what it's worth, I would like to give Richard some advice on what people thought when he long and happy marriage. Firstly, set the ground rules and establish who's boss. Then do exactly everything Lisa says.
Yes.
Secondly, don't be afraid that Lisa will leave you. She's spent 10 years training you. She's not going to give up on that life. Thirdly, and this is actually good advice, I think, whenever you're wrong, admit it. Whenever you're right, shut up.
Yes.
It has been a great honour, Richard, to be your best man today, and I wish you and Lisa every happiness.
Yeah.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you to be upstanding and raise your glass to Richard and Lisa, the new Mr. and Mrs. Levis. And as a final point, there's a typewriter out there. Can you all write your little notes or whatever onto it?
Yeah.